Hi, this is Exploring with Emma and Stu.
And today we're in Wales, and of course it wouldn't be a trip to Wales without an abandoned slate quarry. This is one of the slightly lesser known ones. It's actually called Dorothea Quarry. We're not far from the Nantley Valley here. I think it's one of the biggest ones in the area. So there's plenty to see here, a few ruins, some pretty scenery. So we're going to take you for a look. So the quarry here began production in the 1820s and consisted of 6 pits all scattered around. Like I said, it was the biggest in this actual valley. It employed 200 men in its peak and was actually producing 6,000 tonnes of slate a year. Now, by the 1870s, it would have been crisscrossed in all sorts of tramways and all sorts of things, of course, bringing all this slate in and out. And I think it peaked around about that time with 17,000 tonnes of slate being produced every year, 350 men working all over here. Now, this is actually just a beautiful, quiet little spot now, just full of ruins and things. So it's quite amazing to think of all of that sort of production and noise and chaos. You can imagine it would have all been going on in this quiet little beauty spot. Now, one of the most significant buildings here, and one that we've definitely come to see, is the Cornish beam engine that was built in 1904 to pump water out of the quarry and basically stop it flooding. And me and Stu are going to take you for a little look around it, aren't we, Stu?
We are, and this is it. This is the amazing big building, the Cornish building that Emma's talking about, that if we give it a bit of a tilt,
it's so tall.
It's massive.
It is, yeah.
It's really quite impressive actually. And this was this done by steam?
I imagine it would have been probably
pressured?
steam power. I believe the boilers are actually still here, so we're going to go and have a little look at those. I think this was actually one of the last Cornish beam engines, even though it's not in Cornwall, to be built. So yeah, it's really quite
cool.
Quite amazing. It's actually fairly complete. So I think this deserves quite a significant look around.
Okay, let's go and have a look.
So let's take you for a proper look at this amazing Cornish steam pump. And here it is.
That Emma, is incredible. I actually think that is something else, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I've been to Cornwall and I have seen these, but normally they're museums. And I love the fact that this is just a ruin. You know, it's. And
do you know what? It's where obviously this is the pump here. It's been snapped off.
The beam engine. It's a beam.
It's a beam engine, but it's actually been snapped. The cogs have been. Yeah.
I guess it's been semi-dismantled over time, hasn't it? If you come around here, you can see that this beam, I'm not an expert in beam engines, my understanding is that it would have gone up and down, pumping the water out, pumps, obviously. Probably something to do with this bit. Again, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert.
Is this a water wheel?
This looks like some sort of water wheel, and there's a gully down here, so maybe some sort of additional power, maybe it helped with the pump. Again, I'm not going to pretend that I know an awful lot about.
Usually they use cold water to keep machinery cold, don't they?
Possibly.
Like, looks like a car engine.
Maybe they did. Yeah, maybe. Obviously, we said this was probably steam powered, and that we've got the engines to look at. But this is quite amazing. But
this isn't the only thing that we're looking at. This is a whole quarry.
This is just one building.
This is one building.
Yeah, and I'm still yapping about it, because if you scan yourself up to the top, and I'm not sure how well you can make that out, it's actually got a clock on the top of it, which is a bit unusual for just a steam industrial pump.
And that is, if I just put my finger,
that
just there, that's the clock. That is, again,
unusual.
A very, very impressive thing.
But yeah, we're excited. We didn't even know that this was actually going to be
not at all.
Significant
No,
as this.
not at all.
But this is a proper explore. We don't know what we're going to find.
We have got the date, which is always quite nice to see on the buildings.
My research was correct.
It was correct. Look at that.
But it did in fact go on in the early 1950s to have an electric pump fitted. So some of these mechanisms could date from when it was updated to an electric pump as well. But yeah, fascinating.
But what I like the most, because obviously we've looked around this before we've even started this. Very exciting. It has the boilers. Emma mentioned it. The boilers are cool. Yeah. And they cool.
So let's have a look.
So let's go and have a quick look at those before we go on to the next part of the quarry.
Right, so just around the back of the steam, actual beam part of it, is these engines we keep talking about. So they're down here, so let's have a look.
Let's have a look. And here they are. Look at them. Now that is something very impressive.
Can I get down there and have a look?
You can get, I'll tell you what, yeah, get down there. I'm going to switch the camera on when Emma's down there.
Oh, that's slippy. So, very slight sort of climb there. And here we have it. And because the lighting wasn't in the best place, I wanted to come down and show you properly from a better angle. And, oh, that's better. Here we are. Those amazing steam pumps. I mean, I've seen these actually at the Cromford and High Peak Railway. They had a big pump there. And these big engines were all being fired up by the volunteers because they'd been restored. But look at these ones. These are just sitting here, I mean, rotting away, which is quite sad. I mean, you can see it would have had a roof over the top there, again, just like the one up in Derbyshire at the Cromford and High Peak Railway. But gosh, you can imagine the huge furnaces that they'd have had inside there, and the amount of power that would have created must have been quite incredible. All the old original pipes and cogs, and I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know too much about it, but wow. And what have we got through here? Oh, this would have been some sort of entrance that they've bricked up. Again, you can see the roof line. So this would have all been encased in a roof. Not too sure where that would have gone, but it looks a bit too dangerous. But and this is the way that I've just popped myself down. So yeah, I just wanted to take you guys for a better look at these really quite incredible steam engines.
So that was the
Cornish steam engine. Yeah. We spent a bit more time exploring that than we actually planned to. Yes. So sorry about that.
But we have got a few other places, well, quite a few other places to visit. So let's not waste time.
And let's carry on exploring this amazing quarry. Right, so here is another fairly significant building. Of course, not anywhere near as significant as that lovely pump we saw. But this looks like it may have had something to do with that drainage, because we've got massive pipes here, which certainly run in the same direction. So I'm not going to pretend I overly know what it is. I mean, there's something mounted. I don't know, maybe some sort of generator. Who knows? But it certainly heads off towards that, and it's got a few other bits and pieces. I mean, these are really quite ruinous buildings, so it's a bit of a guess as to what they are, but we thought we'd show you as many of these sort of more significant ones as we can.
Yeah, another building now.
This is a huge complex, isn't it, of buildings?
Yeah. It's really hard to work out what these buildings are, considering they are literally just made of slate with these big, I don't know.
It's a
lintel, yeah. It's just, we don't even know, what would these rooms be for? It's nothing, look, we're not doing war stuff. That's all I can say.
Well, we don't have quarries where we come from. Not
like this.
Well, only like sand quarries. So
stone quarries.
Yeah, we don't really know an awful lot about quarries, so we're guessing. If you know a bit more about it, then please let us know.
Yeah.
Of course, these are more than semi-ruinous, so it's hard to kind of identify any features.
That's right, it is.
They are so fascinating, and they're so picturesque, aren't they?
They are, very much so.
I'm really glad that we came.
But we'll get a couple of cinematics, because obviously we can't get to the top of these, but I'm sure we can get some great photographs and some good cinematics. But don't forget to look on Instagram for those, because that's where we'll post most of the pictures. Right. So let's go and have a quick look at some more stuff. We've just got to the village of the damned, literally, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's like a workshop area.
We believe so. Yeah, we're just walking along the main path, and we spotted quite a lot of significant buildings, and we believe these are workshops.
They are actually pretty cool. I mean, look at the size of these doors.
Yeah, definitely not houses.
No. But we have got some more buildings to the left of us, but you can sort of see, what would you say that these were, roughly?
Without being an expert on quarries,
I know.
I mean, it could have been for, I mean, even storing, I mean, these are dynamite and things. I mean, I don't think these are large enough.
I don't think these are too big to be dynamite storage, surely.
Possibly not. I mean, but what I was going to say is that they're not really big enough to be, you know, the cutting sheds, because they would normally be massive.
Yeah.
Where they would have cut the slate into sort of sections.
That's it.
So I don't really know, if I'm honest.
No, but we have got a remnant of where the door used to hang, actually. So if you come through here, we'll just have a quick look. See this here, look at this. Still got the bolt.
That's quite a significant door, that.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not just normal. I mean, this has actually got a few more features in it.
This got shelving at the back, which I thought was quite cool.
I mean, obviously, if we was to see something that was clearly a fireplace, then we would know that they definitely didn't keep explosives in it.
No, of course not.
But I don't know, this is just like a little cubbyhole.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
But we're going to go out here
there's loads more to see. So
yeah, we are going to go out here now, and I'll tell you where we're going to show you, and we'll get over there in just a second. We're going to be getting over to these buildings here and finding out what they are. Finley's already exploring, so we're going to be going over there now and having a look.
Right, so Stu's left me the responsibility of showing you around these. Not that I can tell you too much more about them, but these are slightly different sort of buildings to what we saw over there, certainly smaller. Maybe these were more, I mean, of course they would have needed, they would have had some sort of hut to shelter in at some point. These guys weren't working all the time. Again, there would have probably been houses up here somewhere. I don't know if they would have been this close to the actual quarry. Oh, actually, forget that, scrap that. This has got a fireplace in it, so this was definitely somewhere which people would have sheltered or spent a little bit of time in. And in fact, you know what? Looking at the shape of this, two-roomed building, quite similar to some of the quarry buildings that we've actually seen out on Instagram and things like that. So maybe this was a quarry house. Let's have a little look, shall we? Through the doorway. And wow, this to me definitely looks like some sort of dwelling. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but wow. Gosh, look at that. That's definitely a fireplace, isn't it? Ah. The floor may have been a little higher at some point. I'm not really too sure what this is, but all right then. There's loads of them. They just go on and on. So I think we're going to get back out and see if there's any more, and maybe we can be rejoined by Stu.
So this is another house. Obviously they're about the same sort of thing going through, but we reckon this might be the quarry master's house, don't we? Because it's a bit bigger, a bit more significant.
Yeah, Stu says this one seems to be a little bit nicer. Look, it's been rendered. Look,
that was actually been rendered.
Maybe, but this place is scattered with these little dwellings, isn't it? So this is obviously where the quarry people, quarrymen used to work, live back in the day.
But what we're going to have to do now, because obviously the video is going to go overlaps, we need to get on and look at other stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and do that right now. So Emma is up the steps. We don't even know what this is.
We come across another significant building. And
it's big, isn't it?
It is actually quite a large building. I just had a little look to see if I could figure out what it actually was. Sadly, I'm none the wiser, but I do know that this quarry, like many, would have had like numerous inclines to the top, and of course it would have been pulling up wagons, and these wagons need to be powered somehow. The drum houses, which would have obviously have wound up the ropes that pulled up the wagons, needed to be powered. So I don't know if this is the remnants of one of those sort of drum houses. We've certainly got remnants way above me, which would have been something to do with inclines, but they're quite majestic, aren't they, these?
All I can say, amazing. Absolutely amazing where we are at the moment. We stumbled across this place. We've just been walking around the public footpaths.
Yeah, we've come a little bit of a way.
And we are on the public footpath still.
This has got footpath signs. Yeah, we've come quite some distance, passing by numerous ruins. Yeah. There's so many ruins, we can't even film them all. It's quite amazing. But this one, it's actually still got window frames, so...
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the camera over to Emma. She is going to go and take you, not through the house.
I don't think I'll go
She'll just take you around the outside of it. So I'm going to pass her over to you now, and you can go and have a look.
Right, so I'm going to start from this angle so you can actually see it is actually a really nice little cottage. In fact, possibly two cottages, I don't know. But it's got chimney pots still on it and sort of a bit of a roof still going on there. This is obviously not quite as old as the other ones that we've seen. Maybe this was owned by somebody a bit more important, but I'm going to pop the camera through the door. I'm not really sure how they would have got down to the front door. I guess there were some steps. I'm just going to very carefully jump down here and give you a really quick explore. Of course, normally we would be really excited about this, but we just haven't got the time to show you everything, and goodness me. Right, so the main reason why I'm not going in, as you can see, it is collapsing. I mean, that was a huge fireplace once, I imagine, with a stove and everything, and it had an upstairs, but again, as you can see, wow, that is pretty dilapidated, to say the least. There's a beam here that's obviously fallen. Would have had rooms through here. You can see the original paint on the door frames. God, very substantial, really. And upstairs, up there, again, all the walls are sort of rendered or plastered, but I'm not stupid enough to go in there. But I might see if I can pop my head through another window, because I am literally just looking through a window here, or maybe a small door, and just see if there's anything else. If not, I'll find Stu and we'll carry on our explore. So let's take a look through another one of these windows. This has got a couple of little features. Look, it's a small little fireplace and little way through there. And again, you can see up into the upstairs. I mean, look at this wall. You can't quite tell on camera, but that wall is just a massive piece of slate. So that's, never seen that before. But I don't know, that's really quite something. And yeah, we're sort of just surrounded here by all sorts of ruins. You can't make them all out, but they are everywhere. So Stu's just called me over there to say that he's found something else. So let's go and have a look.
So I promised Emma when she was doing the cottage that there was something up here she was going to hate, but not hate as in hate doing, the fact that there's a lot more to see. Yeah, she's going to
hate the fact that my battery on my phone is dying, so I can't take any more pictures. I'm gutted. But
where we are now, this is pretty incredible. This is the factory.
Oh, this is obviously some sort of production part of it.
Yeah, look at that. We're not going to go right in because it does look like the farmer uses it. Yeah. But look at that. This
is a really large building, isn't it?
It's huge.
Again, it doesn't look like a cutting room or anything like that.
I don't know what this would have been. But, I mean, look in the background. Look at the spoil in the background that we've still got to go around. We're not even halfway round this quarry yet.
No, we're actually not. I think we might have to come back.
I think we might have to. I think this might even deserve the drone. But we haven't got the drone here at the moment.
But anyway, so there's another.
That's it.
Another part of this amazing site.
And now we're going to be heading out and finding some more.
See what else we can find.
Here we are at the end. Well,
it's the end of the video anyway.
It is.
Again, we've got this ruin behind us, one of so many we've come along the way. And we'll no doubt find a few more on the way back.
We will.
Which we'll include in some rather cinematic scans at the end.
Yeah.
But this quarry here, Dorothea Quarry, wasn't even really on our radar. We just thought we'd give it a little scout, didn't we?
Well, we actually thought we were going to come to like ruins. I mean, real ruins. This is not real ruins.
Of stones,
this is really, really great. We've been really excited about walking around, and we've been really excited to take you along with us.
That's it. And apologies if the video is really, really long. It could have been so much longer.
It could have been.
But it's tea time, so we need to get back. But just one more little bit about the quarry, because we did know a little bit about it. This was actually worked right up until the 1930s. With sort of the outbreak of the war and everything, it declined, like a lot of the quarries did decline a little bit around that time. I think they sort of carried on limping through a little bit until the 1970s, when it was completely closed, I believe, in the 1970s. Now it's got public footpaths running through. It's a little bit of a sort of a nature park.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we had nature parks like this.
It's lovely. It's
over in East Anglia. But yeah, definitely there's parking close by. Come along, you know, it's free to have a look. Just be really careful. Read the instructions regarding health and safety as you come in. There's some trails that you can follow. We're having a great time.
That's it, exactly. But if you do like the video, please give it a like and subscribe. It's really helping our channel, and lately our channel's been blossoming. It's been doing so well.
Yeah, we are so close to 5,000 subscribers, which we're really excited about, and we want to do a little something special for that. We'll have to wait and see. But we've also got a bit of extra content on our Patreon, so if you want to check that out, there'll be a link below as to how you can get involved with that as well.
So, as from Exploring with Emma Stu.
Yep, here again in North Wales.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.